I'm Derek.
And I'm Jared, and this is Two Peas and a Pod.
This does have video recording.
Yes, it does. Yes,
which, by the way, so I did watch this on YouTube. I need to make a video because people are gonna be like, my TV broke trying to start this video because it's just a black screen for 10 seconds. Well, or however, that might even be longer. I don't know.
It's 28 seconds. Trust me.
Oh my gosh, that's so long without a video on a video streaming software.
No one watches it on YouTube. It's all off Spotify anyway.
Well, I actually have a thing. I have a thing that makes stingers like that. I think in AI in my video stuff. Anyway,
yeah.
That was hilarious. The other day, I was like, what is this? Not a placeholder, just a black screen.
No. Yeah, that's okay.
Awesome.
We're still in the infancy stages of this whole thing, so,
Yeah, and
off
it's
the ground.
Saturday at 8 p.m.
Yes.
We've both been sunbathe skiing.
Yep.
Drinking any...
No, I've just been water and golfing and getting very frustrated.
That's very responsible of you.
Yeah, I actually told myself I wouldn't drink. Last weekend I had a bachelor party in Nashville and we got a little lit. I think
rowdy.
The kids call it. Yeah, about
Litty. Was the drip thick?
Some 3 a.m.ers, man. Some 3 a.m.er nights. Oof.
I can't do that even, bro. I'd probably pass out.
I didn't think I could, but here we are.
Yeah, actually, I did a 3 a.m. when my boys were in town from the workplace.
Yeah.
That was a late night.
Anyway, so I promised myself, or told myself, whatever you want to call it, that I would not drink until I went to Windstock up in Minnesota. Here,
Wingstop?
Windstock Country Music Festival up in
Wingstock? Wing Rock?
Do you want me to type it up for you and put it in the chat?
No. Windstock, I heard you.
Yeah, you're funny.
I'm hilarious. I know.
This episode
this is what they pay for.
This episode is going to be a little bit crazy, a little off the cusp, if we call it. Because, well, that's okay. Saturday night.
That's why I caveated it. That's why I caveated. It's 8 p.m. on a Saturday. Yeah. It's not noon on a Wednesday when this is typically recorded and we're very business minded and I'm very shiesty. Yeah. I'm usually off and hanging out. I don't even wear pants in this thing most of the time. We should start doing full length videos.
Like
for the fans.
Like head to toe?
Yeah, for the fans.
Yeah, that's not happening. So sorry, buddies. Sorry, guys. Oh, look at the knee.
There.
Oh man, this stuff is starting to sound a little like the Tom Brady roast, a little bit getting a little wild.
It's
heading in that direction.
The only thing we're missing is a Nikki Glaser blowjob joke. So
go ahead.
Yeah, I don't got one.
But dude, 3 hours though. Let's
long,
talk about
bro.
how long that is. I think that's the longest roast I've ever watched.
I think it's some of the longest type of entertainment that I will watch.
Well, I think it's crazy. It was live.
Yeah, I know.
The entire time. Which is, I think it's pretty ballsy of Netflix to film that live, being who the guests were and what they were saying.
Yeah, but there's an energy about a place that's live, right? If you're there, 3 hours is not that bad. I don't think I can do like a stand-up comedy special that's like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
It's just a lot, man. Like I watched it in like 4 or 5 chunks to get through an hour and a half.
I watched 1 hour and a half or an hour and 40, and then I watched the last hour and 20 because I was like, oh, I need a break. It was long. It was like a full
just a lot
movie.
Of comedy.
Yeah.
If I'm going to watch something for 3 hours, which honestly, I'll say this, I don't even want to. Like, I'm a big Batman fan. And the Batman with the dude from Twilight, I was like, 3 hours, bro.
Do you want me to be honest with you, Derek, on that?
What?
I was not a big fan because I'm pretty sure I fell asleep twice in that movie. I woke up and I still knew what was going on. Like they were 10-minute naps, but I woke up, I'm like, oh, here we are still? Cool.
I like him as Batman though over Ben Affleck.
Well, because he has some sort of dark.
No, you just
aura from him,
I didn't like Ben Affleck as the Batmans. No, just the play. And yeah, maybe it's like Christian Bale too. You think about him when he's like that. What is it, American Beauty, or what's the name of that movie that he's in where he's a psychopath?
No idea.
American Psycho.
No idea. Yeah,
Dude,
maybe.
Do you know American? You don't know American Psycho? I've never seen it, but it just like he at least plays like a very insane character. He's a sociopath.
American Psycho is what it's called. It was actually in 2000, an hour and 44-minute horror/comedy. I don't know why it'd be a comedy. But
it is hilarious, dude. If you ever, so one of the scenes in it, they walk into the boardroom and everybody's passing out their business cards and they're pulling them out of the business card tins or like a business card holder, opening them up, and they're like, check out mine. And then all of a sudden he's like, check mine out. And then this other dude's like, ooh, they're all like trying to one up each other. And finally this other guy actually, because he thought his was going to be the one up. And then this other dude does. And he's like, this little worm. Like it's his self-speak. He's like, this disgusting. You like to think he's better. So like, that's how he is. Like he's just, it's kind of probably a little bit of a knock on capitalism almost. But
you guys can watch it now on Peacock.
Oh.
Peacock with subscription.
Yeah, you did have to say it that way.
Just wanted to enunciate my words.
Is this another Drake episode, or?
You want me to play a video of Drake?
No. We do not need to get a strike this early in the process.
You can hear the sound for audio listeners.
No. Why are you even... Dude, my ears, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to hear it, bro.
You started it. I'm finishing it right now. This is me owning it for you.
Yep. Well, I appreciate it. About time you stepped up.
Anyways.
So what did you think of the roast? All
right. I will break it down. I think it was really, really good. I love the fact that it was live. I hated the fact that it was 3 hours. And I also didn't like the fact that there was like 1,700 different comedians / like people talking. Like I wish there like the roast in the past on Comedy Central. There's like 5 or 6 like people roasting, right? And they just get the good jokes in, and then it's done. It just seemed like it kept dragging on, and like Dana White had 60 seconds, and then Ben Affleck had like a minute and a half. Nikki Glaser had like 6 minutes. It just seemed that's the only thing I didn't like about it.
Nikki Glaser's a comedian.
I get it, but it's just kind of one of those things. Like I loved it just because of all the like edgy.
Don't forget Kim Kardashian had 60 seconds. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. You throw a dart at a wall at a bunch of celebrities, and one of them was on there that night.
Yeah,
but overall, I think it was really funny. I think there was a lot of cancel culture that they push through, which I really enjoy. Kind of the old school comedy where if you can't take a joke, then turn the channel. You know, I was listening to a podcast actually this week, and they had Jimmy Carr on there, who was just in the audience, and they were kind of talking about how edgy he is.
Oh, he's so edgy, bro.
And he's like, I hope they cancel me one day, because then I will make a public statement and go, okay, I'm sorry. And then when they say, well, I don't believe you, he goes, oh, I can say something and not mean it? Oh, okay. Just to get back at them for canceling them. So what about you? I know you're not all the way through it, but...
No, I watched about an hour and a half. I stopped at about Bill Belichick. And like I said early on, there's just a limit of how much of like comedy I can watch. I really enjoy stand-up comedy. I've listened to a ton of stand-up comedy in my life, but I think that's where it's kind of at for me. It's not like I'm like die hard, like that's my form of entertainment now. Now it's like a back pocket thing for me that I'm down to listen to, but I have a limit. And I think the jokes were pretty good. I really thought, again, Nikki Glaser was definitely, out of what I've seen so far, the best. She just had tons of ringers, tons of good jokes. Probably my least favorite, though, was the roast master. What's his name?
Jeff Ross.
Jeff Ross? Yeah, Jeff Ross. I just didn't think it was that good of stuff. Now, big controversy there, right?
Yeah.
What did he say? Don't say that shit again. Because he made an offhand comment about Robert Kraft's involvement in like a prostitution ring. But at a massage parlor. But they were 3 people got arrested.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. I think, no, there was, he was indicted or whatever. He was brought in, but the judges determined that because the warrant, there was no warrant to put up cameras, and the cameras were recording both patrons that were there for legal services and illegal services. So because it captured not just the illegal services and those cameras were put up without a warrant, that any of the people that were customers were obliged and cleared. This was the loophole that allows Robert Kraft to not be involved in this.
Yeah.
But the individuals who were giving the services were arrested entirely. Because they were definitely doing illegal things, and their privacy was not apparently violated.
Yeah. I think we talked about this before. But it's an interesting line we draw, right? It's an interesting line we draw on that topic.
Well, I will say this. As I said when John Gruden got fired, there's a difference between those that write the checks and those that cash them.
Yeah. So, I would agree with you. I think it's a toss-up between Nikki Glaser and Tommy off of Kill Tony. I thought he absolutely murdered it, and he just went down the line of all the roasters and the attendees and just ripped them apart. It is pretty good. So I think my least favorite probably would have been probably Ben Affleck. It just didn't flow.
Oh, I bet that was horrible.
It didn't make sense. A bunch of dick jokes, something about dicks, and all that stuff. So
Ben Affleck, ever since he messed up Jennifer Garner, bro, it's like we have no respect for you.
Yeah,
you don't mess that up. Okay,
but he did.
But he messed that up.
yeah. So, but man, I think with the reactions that they got from that special, I think there's more to come. I think one of my favorite parts, and I'm gonna ruin it for you. Sorry, Derek.
I don't care. Go for
it. Was when Tom Brady went up at the end and he goes, the NFL spent $20 million to more likely than not probably deflated the balls. He's like, just pay me $20 million. I would have told you I fucking did it.
Which is kind of, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't even think that one is that egregious. I understand that there is a particular pressure, but I could also understand that certain people have different preferences.
So is it in the rule book that the balls?
It is. 100%. Yep. They were deflated beneath the rule book, but you're talking. Will it make the ball easier to throw and catch? Yes. Also, though, arguably, would it make it easier to throw? That's actually one of my questions.
Yes, because you can grip it. You can grip it better, and it won't slip out of your hands. Because, if it's wet, as you throw, it could slip, and then it doesn't get the full.
But if it's slightly deflated, and you can really
you can hold on. You can press your fingers in and make an indentation. And it's less of a slip. So yes, it for sure helps the catcher and the thrower.
What about with a real deep ball? I feel like at some point it's going to become not good.
Maybe the deep balls, but if you remember the game, I remember watching it. The game, they were throwing 10, 15 yarders. They weren't. There was maybe a couple bombs, but other than that, they were just ripping them down the sides and I mean, just making catches.
That was their style. I think Tom Brady has a career passing average of around 7 yards.
But the slant and the stop and the hook are mostly unstoppable unless if they can sense it, and then you do the stop and go, and then you get a touchdown. They're really really hard to pass against. You leave the defense in front or the offense in front of you, and you just keep marching down the field.
Yeah, that's why I hate the way that the NFL is going with really overly protecting the offense. I don't remember who said it, but
Yeah.
I don't remember who said oh my gosh, my train of thought. I think it was Tom Brady. I'm bringing the sun back. I think it was him. He was on, I think it was, I don't even, sorry. Okay. Doesn't matter where it was on, but it was on, and he was talking about the fact that what's going on with the NFL, making offensive players not have to protect themselves, is ruining the game and actually putting offensive players in greater danger. Because here's the thing, if a quarterback's going to throw it over the middle, he's putting that guy's life in danger.
Right.
And therefore, because they seek no repercussions, and it's actually beneficial for them to do it, because if the guy gets hit or protected, which he used to be legally abided and capable of doing, now the guy's still getting hit and it's a penalty, but those guys are wanting to do it more and they're putting their people more in danger, where that was more of like a last ditch effort, like come across the middle and you're gonna find out.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And now they're like, well, I'll do it because if I find out, guess what? Going 20 yards the other direction.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's how it always is. I remember, I mean, even in high school, a quarterback would throw it too late across the middle, and you're in the middle of the field with two linebackers and a safety ready to knock your head off. And the coaches would literally scream at the quarterbacks asking what they're doing because you just killed a player, basically.
Correct.
Like,
exactly.
It's that's like one of the most dangerous parts is when you're up and then if you overthrow it and you reach up and you leave your feet and you get just cracked, oh man, that does not feel good. Doesn't matter how many pads or helmet you are lit up, gasping for breath.
Yeah, dude.
But I get what you're saying. I think overall, we talked about this with like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, that I don't know, a couple episodes ago. They're trying to protect the players because of the CTE and then like the roughness, I guess.
Well, protect your investment.
Yeah, it's taking away from the game, like basketball and even football. You're like, oh, I heard that hit from upstairs. Now it doesn't need to be that grotesque, maybe not, but like it's making it a completely different sport to where you can't compare athletes and GOAT status now from 20 years ago.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah, they are really incomparable games at this point. They're not even recognizable. Did you know when Michael Jordan was playing, the number of threes shot in a game was like maybe 5 to 10?
Yeah,
like
it
that
was
10
minimal.
was probably pretty high.
Yeah.
Now these guys are shooting 40, 50 some threes.
I read a stat somewhere. At the end of this postseason, this NBA season is going to be the highest average scoring season ever because of the amount of threes that people are taking. It's crazy. I mean, people are just putting them up, so.
Yeah, I don't know who I watch on YouTube, but it's maybe like XAT. I don't know. I'm just trying to give him a shout out in case I'm messing this up. But he does all these different statistic stuff. And one of the ones that he even showed, though, and this is where I'm going with this, is that this actually kind of makes the game better, in my opinion.
Okay.
There has been more 20-point deficits overcome.
Yeah.
In this last 3 years, and it's continuing to go up and up and up. And it's because of the three ball, because 20 points, all of a sudden, you do that in threes, and you're just chopping it off.
Put it mathematically, right? You have you need technically 10 possessions to make up 20 points. If you don't have any and ones, all that. You need 7 to make up 21 points and take the lead. That's 3 less. I mean, that's literally what, a third less possessions that you need to have, and but it also swings a lot harder too.
Correct. That's what they were showing. They were showing he was showing the statistics of probability. There's a company out there that measures the probability of every game as it's live, as it's going on. Like it's doing these statistics, and it's just crossing the line in everybody's direction, which is honestly what you want in sports. There was a couple of years ago where there was, in the NFL, there were more ties and more teams were closer to 500. It's like, that's actually the ideal. That's what you want when every game is an anybody's game, because then the fans aren't not showing up because they're like, we could win this one. This one's ours. And
people spend more money.
Everybody's also in the hunt. Everybody's in the hunt because everybody's records are really tight and close. So it's always just a 1-2 game for anybody.
Yeah.
So it's that's what sells the most seats.
I would say, I wonder from a revenue standpoint or a business standpoint how much that's helping. Because you think about it, late in the game, if teams are 15 and 70 or whatever it is for basketball, or if they're 2-11 in NFL, those tickets for stadium prices are bottoming out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if they're 5-6, people are still going to the games because hey, they might get to 500. They still might make the playoffs. Then they stay longer for games and buy more stuff. I wonder what that statistic stuff looks like kind of from that end. That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah. Well, we definitely know that the NFL is making money. They just signed 2 Christmas games for $150 million a piece, something like that.
Yeah. Netflix will be Netflix exclusive, right?
Yep. Netflix exclusive for the Christmas games. You've got
I can't remember
the Ravens, Texans, and the Kansas City Chiefs versus.
Oh, that's gonna be a big game.
Chiefs? Who are the Chiefs playing?
Doesn't matter.
It's a good game. It's a good game.
It's the Swifties versus whoever. Swifties versus the NFL. Was I talking to you? Where I was like, I think Netflix is stepping up their game because they're the only streaming service now that does not have live television or live events.
Oh, really?
So like Peacock, it has live TV, right? Hulu live TV.
Chiefs
Steelers. Yep. Hulu live TV, YouTube live TV. They're having all these. ESPN Plus has live TV, but Netflix is only a streaming service. It's not a live service, and now they've moved in.
Roasted Tom Brady.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the start of it. And now the NFL, they signed some deals.
No, they did another one. They did something else live too. I think it was
well, they're doing the Jake Paul fight.
It was a live golf. A live golf tournament was live on Netflix.
Yeah, but this year alone, there's 3 of them now.
Yeah, I know. So they're trying to get into it. There's obviously money to be made in that space. It's obviously something people are desiring. So,
question for you: Do you have cable TV now still?
I have online television, yes. Where I get TV channels live, yes.
Yep. So
online.
I mean, there's not that many people that get a TV from their internet provider or cable provider anymore. So
well, that's like $70 a month to have anything that's worth watching. That's significantly more than $9 on Netflix or $9 on Amazon. Or not. Actually, it's probably closer to $15 now across all those. But I remember when it used to be like $8.99, $7.99.
I wish the Founders Club would have some sort of deal. That's me, by the way. I pre-ordered Disney Plus actually too when it first came out.
Oh man, do you still have Disney Plus?
Yes, I get it for free through Verizon. So I get the whole bundle too. So my stuff I get Hulu, ESPN, and Disney Plus for free, and Apple Music for free.
I wonder why I should be doing Disney Plus. I have Verizon.
So they changed it. This was like 2 or 3 years ago. Now you get to pick your deals, or it's like pick your plan.
Do you know what I'm on? I'm on the $30 a month. I'm on the $30 a month for like 7 people a piece. $30 each for like 7-8 people.
Yeah. It is beneficial. The more phones you have, the less you pay. That's for sure.
Dude, that's insane. I remember when I used to pay $150, $160 for my phone, just for me.
Yeah. So remember when texting wasn't unlimited, and if you went over your plan, it was outrageously expensive.
I just didn't text people.
I had friends that went over their texting plan and spent a $500 phone bill for their parents.
I think at that point, I just don't have parents anymore. They just ostracize me. They send me away.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It was a fun conversation, I guess. But
although I have braces twice.
Why twice? What happened?
So they put them on for like 3 years, pulled all my teeth apart. So this tooth and this tooth.
If you guys are seeing, it's his front 2 teeth. If you aren't watching,
my front one and then my one right off to the side of it. On my right side, the roots were tangled.
Ooh.
In my gums, and so they opened it up, undid it, and then this one they undid this one from that because this didn't come down for like the one that was next to the main front teeth. That one didn't come down for like I don't know, year and a half, just wasn't coming down. So then they went up there and they put a chain on it around my braces, and they like cranked it down every couple weeks. I'd go and get it cranked, and they would just pull it down.
Yeah.
So and then they put braces back on after that. I had like 6 months off, and then they put braces on to put it all back together.
Good for you.
And then my buddy punched it out in a McDonald's. That tooth.
Yeah. Derek, I don't understand you sometimes.
Dude, it was actually really chill. He was messing around with me. We were like shadow boxing, and he punched my hand into my face.
Yeah, that was definitely a mistake. I'd been like, oops, didn't mean to do that.
There went my tooth across the counter at McDonald's. I was like, can you grab my tooth? It's right there on the floor. Give me a milk. Put it in there. Let's see if I can salvage. Yeah, it didn't work. Was no saving that.
Goodness.
So,
but, yeah, that's another history lesson for Derek there. You've been through some stuff, man.
Dude, I love it, man. No, it's just. See, this is where I always think I wanted to do stand-up comedy. I think I could make some of these stories pretty funny.
So are you comfortable enough to get up on stage, or would you have to work to those bigger stages?
Yeah, definitely would have to go. What do they say? Bomb. Definitely have to go bomb a few times.
Well, you get up in like a comedy club with like 20 people and start getting better, and then just kind of work your way through. It's crazy how many people like I was like listening to the same podcast. They had Jimmy Carr on, and they were saying like there's people that were doing comedy for 15, 20 years before they made it.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know, it's crazy the grind you have to do to be big. And like Shane Gillis is one of the few that just kind of made it big without.
He got canceled. It was great for him.
Yeah. But like we said, I think cancel culture is coming back where you get to say what you want because
that's the opposite.
Cancel
culture is being fought back against.
Right. Yes. What I'm saying is like that type of comedy is coming back.
Why don't you think Shane Gillis was there?
What?
Why don't you think Shane Gillis was there?
He didn't. He said no. They asked him and he said no. So yeah. So from what I heard, because Bert and Tom Segura, they got the call, and Tom said absolutely not, and Bert said yes. Well, we're both in. And then Tom was like, let's sit down and have a meeting. And I guess during the meeting, Tom asked all these questions, put some stuff together, and they're like, Bert, do you have anything? He goes, I already said yes Thursday, so. Like, Bert would just be the funnest dude to just chill with, man.
Bert.
Me and Tyler and Walls went to him live in Sioux Falls. That was pretty fun. Yeah. Did you watch his movie? Did you watch his movie, The Machine?
No, dude. The Machine. El Machina.
Good movie. Good movie. Good movie. Funny.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. I'm not even saying I don't like Bert. I don't mind Bert. As a matter of fact, he did that joke about doing the escape room with his daughters.
Yeah, with his dad
Yes, that is actually hilarious. That is an hilarious joke. Like that's one of them that when I think of Bert, I'm like, that was so funny, dude. But I don't know. There's something about him just taking his shirt off in every single one of his things. It's like
people love it, though.
Some people love it. I don't. It's not my cup of tea.
I mean,
do you know who I really enjoy? I enjoy Daniel Tosh, who literally just stands there at a mic like this and rips off jokes.
Yeah, that's what he does. He hasn't. When was the last time he's had like something?
Well, he does a podcast.
Yeah, but that's different.
He's got Tosh Show, and then he went to a podcast. It's basically Tosh.0 again.
But he's also he used to do stand up before he had his show on Comedy Central. He did stand up.
Yeah, dude, his stand up was awesome. Good. That's what I'm saying. I really enjoyed it.
I remember when he made a joke about he made a slavery joke and it was like. Whenever I think of him, I think of that joke.
You would love a good old slavery joke, wouldn't you?
No, he's like, because he tries to play it as if it's not a bad. He's like, I already said it was terrible. You can't boo me. And then like, yeah. Just like stuff like that where he's just edgy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's got the one where he talks about hypothetically killing somebody, and he's like, oh, that was the one that was too far. I talked about jacking off Abraham Lincoln earlier, but this one, like I don't even know what he said.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. But like,
where you're gonna make your stand, ladies, women's rights. Okay.
Yeah, but I think if you I think comedy is intended for that, and if you don't live your life by what you joke about, then who cares? You know?
Oh, that actually Daniel Tosh, Dan, my boy
Your boy
Dan.
Dan. You're on a first name basis, dude. Dope.
Yeah, no, I'm probably shortening it in a way that he'd be like, no, Daniel.
Yeah. Like, yeah, let's get him on this podcast, Derek. You know him so well. You just my boy Dan.
That's one of his jokes, though. Is he goes, I cross my own lines every once in a while. That's how I know I still have them.
Oh,
like which is kind of the epitome of comedy. Like, first off, these stories they might have a semblance of truth, but they're usually probably mass elaborations,
right?
And just really figured out a way to make something funny. And maybe sometimes they did happen. So it's just being a really good storyteller. And also, I think comedians are very intelligent people because they have to look at some of the most disgusting things and figure out how to make them funny, right?
Yeah.
You have to get people to laugh about things in order for people to heal over things. And so I think that being able to do that creatively, George Carlin is almost like a prophet. Like, you should listen to some of his jokes that he tells. He is like 10, 15 years into the future. He was talking about how if we continue to do this in subways in New York, he goes, pretty soon there's going to be hobos down here pissing all over the place. And it's like, well, you were right, George. There's hobos and it's like a big old urinal cake over there in the New York subways, just urine up to your ankles in urine.
I was gonna say, I think there's a lot more in those subways than just urine nowadays.
Oh yeah, urine, poop, drugs. Hopefully you don't get stabbed with a PCP needle.
Oh God. I want to go to New York someday. I want to see the Big Apple, just to say that I've seen it. But I will be okay if I never experience the subway.
Yeah. What about the Line? Have you heard about that?
What
city? It's in Saudi Arabia. It's the Line.
No, I have not.
Oh, check it out sometime. Crazy video. So what they want to do is they want to build 100-kilometer long city, and it's like multiple levels, and there's speedways, and it only will take like 10 minutes to get from one end to the other. So you obviously the trains down there will be super fast. But they recently, due to budget cuts, are now only planning to build about 1/50th of that. Not even. I think it's like 700 yards of a city. But it's just like a stacked city. It's mirrors on the outside. And then on the inside, it's like botanical gardens all along the inside. But it's out in the middle of the desert.
Building? So is it just one big building or like one
you got to check it out. It's called The Line. And it's just a big wall. It's going to be like 100 feet tall or like 200 feet tall. Super tall. And it's just going to be this long running building,
that sounds futuristic. Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. And then it all comes to the ocean or to the sea. And that's where it's going to be like very resort. So everybody's got access. It's like this resort access.
170 kilometers in length.
Oh, 170. I thought it was just 100 kilometers.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what they're saying. Like the heart.
But they've cut it down. They cut it down massively.
Yeah, big mirror. I see. Yeah. Oh, dude, I can't imagine how expensive that would be.
Yeah, it's supposed to, the mirror and the stuff is supposed to be so that it's not intrusive to migratory patterns and stuff like that of animals.
So they just run into it?
It's a 100-kilometer long wall, bro. There is no way that's not affecting some issue or causing some issues, bro.
I'm just saying, birds run into clear glass. Like, it's literally going to be a reflection. But
dude.
Googling while you're talking, Saudi Arabia's official estimate for the cost of the Line was $500 billion with a B dollars. But recent reports have claimed that funding could reach more than $1.5 trillion.
Yeah.
That's a lot of rich people wanting to just do something.
Well, it's the Saudis.
Yeah. Yep. So, but oh man, Derek. We should never do this again. We should never do this late night.
We've been trying to get it going.
Yeah. So, enjoy this all over the place, exciting, truly our organic podcast, guys. Until next time.
I'm Derek.
And I'm Jared. And this is Two Peas and a Pod.